there. You're listening to the Outsourcing Hub podcast, the pod that brings you anything and everything about building great teams in outsourcing. And we promise to share infinite opportunities, news, updates, and trends in the industry. Hosted by the Vice President of Sales and Marketing at Infinit-O, Mike Gunyon.
Okay, hello everybody. Welcome back to the Infinit-O podcast. We're happy to be getting together again, and we're going to be doing more exploration of technology-driven solutions and how best to bring a high-performance team together with technology or technology on its own. In this podcast episode, I'll be joined by Flo Lenoir, who is the head of people operations and transformation at Infinit-O. And we'll be talking about business intelligence, or BI. What is it, and how does it help companies to make better data-driven decisions? You know, what's in it for a company? Why do it? And how maybe a company might get started on this particular aspect of their digital journey. So welcome, Flo.
Hi, Mike. Pleasure to be on this episode, and excited to be sharing with you and with anyone listening more about what's behind business intelligence, which is a big topic these days.
Yes, it certainly is. And I think we're starting to see the value that it can bring to, I think the best way to say it, and I've heard you say it many times, is to do more with less and better. So why don't we get started? But if you could perhaps open things up by describing BI or business intelligence in your own words, and maybe your experience developing data-driven BI solutions for Infinit-O and perhaps a client or two. Would that work?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So it's impossible to dissociate BI from data. Data is everything. More and more systems are being used and connected within organizations. More and more systems are being implemented. More and more data is generated. And really, data is everywhere. And often, data is everywhere, but it's everywhere in silos. And so information isn't really being shared and readily available in a way that companies can take action on. So, as I often say, there's a fine line between BI and BS, and data. It's a long, it's long been a buzzword in the industry. Whether we talk about big data, streaming data, data analytics, data science, AI, machine learning, like all those big words are nowadays being used often, but often misused. And so data alone, we realize, is not enough. It takes an entire system of tools and technology to extract value from data, and that's where business intelligence really come in. Business intelligence really leverages software and services to transform data into actionable insights that inform an organization's strategic and tactical business decisions. Right, so it's used to make better and faster decisions. BI tools help accessing and analyzing data sets and presenting it in a way that is visually pleasing for the users, right? May it be a report, a summary, a dashboard, a chart, a map, in any way that can provide the users with detailed intelligence about the state of the business. The role of BI, and again, business intelligence, is then to provide quick, easy to digest access to insight about an organization's current state based on available data. So again, it's connecting all the dots, bringing everything together so that we get a clear picture, real time, of what's going on in the organization. And it's not just about what's happening today. It also then can be used for what is meant to happen in the future. And this is where predictive analytics and predictive models really come into play. Business intelligence is descriptive. It provides a real-time picture of what's happening now. Business analytics is an expansion of that intelligence to make it predictive. It expands this vision to anticipate what may or may not happen. Now, if we bring this back to IO, our team really helps in building and optimizing customized dashboards. Again, that element of visualization, bringing everything together and then presenting in a way that is consumable, that provides a key insight to a partner's operation, right? And it's really an end-to-end data management process that we have in place, from development to design to implementation and optimization. And we leverage on our AWS partner so that we can extract and connect data from many different data sources, store and process that information, transform it into, again, actionable data visualizations and predictive models. We become, again, the partner for end-to-end management and analytics, data management and data analytics, so that companies can make better, faster, and more accurate, unbiased decisions, which are critical for our partners and for any organization out there.
Thank you, Flo. Great description. And what I find super interesting is that you're actually taking data from disparate systems, right? And being able to pull things together in ways that have never been able to be done simply before, or as simply, so that you can pull the data from multiple sources, bring them together in a way that enriches the independent data themselves.
Absolutely.
Love to hear that, and of course I'm involved, so I'm seeing the outcomes of that. It's very exciting. But when you think about it, it is a buzzword, as you mentioned. But are you starting to see through the product team and others that there is significant industry demand for business intelligence? Is this being embraced at this time? And where do you see the need coming from?
Absolutely. I think everywhere is the answer. I don't know a single organization today that would not want to have better grasp on data, better understanding of data, and more data to play with in a format that, again, is easy to play with and easy to understand. As you mentioned, it's, again, capturing that information from this different system, but to be able to do so, you do need to create those bridges across all the different systems that you're using, those unique identifier and connectors that allow that information to be captured and then transformed and digest in a way that makes sense for someone that's going to read a report. So we know that there's no point in working harder if one doesn't work smarter. So again, that's why the need for reporting is coming from every organization, but often reporting is not enough. If you're only doing reporting, you're already behind. That's what we observe in the market. Unless your reporting is smart and agile, you're behind, you're laggard. So it's important that companies today are able to go beyond just the state of reporting as we know it. And this is really where the demand is coming from. Companies are sitting on a huge amount of data, and they are realizing that they are not doing enough with that information. They know that competitors are getting more value and better value from that data that they have, and so they need to catch up. They need visibility, they need accuracy, and they need trust. Trust is a very big thing in data. You want to be able to look at a report and not second guess anything that's being displayed. As a market, BI is huge. We talk about $20 billion market according to IDC, growing healthy and rapidly year on year. Looking ahead, BI growth and needs are expected to accelerate as companies would focus on digital transformation and smarter ways of using data to drive business forward. Good BI doesn't come cheap, though. It requires serious investment, and that's often where we see the limitation coming from companies. They want to jump in, they want to get in, they don't know necessarily how to start, they don't know exactly what to do. They just know they have to do it. But again, often the investment that it requires, because you need the infrastructure, you need the expertise, you need the data science team that comes with it, you need the business analytics team that comes with it. All of that put together, again, doesn't come cheap, and surely is an investment to make from any small or medium or even large organization out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well said. The type of clients that we work with so often are in scaling mode, right? They're ramping up, they're growing, and like so many companies today, hopefully they're all looking to grow one way or the other. And so what we're seeing is the need to implement various tools and enablers to facilitate growth in a smart way. Um, that and also allows them to remain agile and be having very capital efficient type of investments, which I think BI and automation are two elements that fit that mold. The doing more with less mold, capital efficiency, and transparency and so forth. Um, so when I think about it for any company, any kind of an investment, you generally look at sort of an ROI, right? What is, if good BI doesn't come cheap and does require investment, then you look at what's the what comes out the other end, the return. And what I hear so many times is it gives us great intelligence in order to make decisions so that we can scale faster, that we can remain very nimble and agile and make quicker and better decisions. So in your view, would you add some things as to kind of what's in it for the clients that you've seen, and how BI overall will continue to impact companies near term and long term? I don't see it going away anytime soon. I think it's just going to be part of the new normal, and are you on board or not? What do you think?
Correct, absolutely. I think there's this real business value, as you described it, in having a business intelligent platform. And again, it's we now talk about business intelligence as a service platform to work with. So there's definitely real value there to leverage on an expertise that would be readily available, whether because it's tackling the angle of data science, so it has ready-made data science team with skills and ability to build predictive models, to leverage on AI, to leverage on machine learnings, to build those predictive models that can be deployed within a company's business. So there's definitely real value there. There's also a real value in terms of security, given that if you partner with, again, that concept of having BI as a service, you then can work with trusted partners that would leverage on a cloud infrastructure, which again, often now saves a lot of effort and investment. And you just have to make sure that you work with the right level of security and safety, the right level of data management. And that's, for example, that's why we work a lot with AWS. We trust AWS. It has the infrastructure that we need in terms of security. And there's a lot of services and microservices in AWS that allows us to leverage on an entire ecosystem, an entire environment to really secure and ensure data integrity. So that would be a key element. And again, because we go back to the end-to-end data management, not only you need expertise to be able to extract the value, to be able to access the value of the data, you also need expertise in terms of articulating that value and that and provide analytics. So that's really, again, on the visualization side of things. And so it's interesting to be able today to have a one-stop partner that you can really rely on to help jumpstart the implementation of business intelligence, of BI, inside an organization. And if we go back to the logic of investment, it's often hard for SMBs to be able to focus on a specific area such as BI. They know they need it, but because they always have other priorities to work with, it makes it hard for any organization to, again, put the effort and the investment to secure that value in the long run. You want the ROI immediately, but you don't want to have to go through the process of building up the infrastructure, building up the team, building up the expertise in terms of knowledge of processes and data within your business. So if you have a way to short and to cut short that long process, that's where you also get your ROI back. So that's why we mostly work with those SMBs that you said, as you said, that would be fast growing because they need a service that isn't going to cost them the cost of a full-time, fully loaded data science team and engineers team. And we get to, again, do more with less because we get to provide a cost-effective approach that large analytics software providers would tend not to have.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems that it's always better to go with a team that has the knowledge and capabilities and experience and have done it before. You know, there's no need to invent it here, so to speak. And that's, I think, part of the paradigm.
Let's not reinvent the wheel. Absolutely, yeah.
Exactly. And so I think that from the standpoint of Infinit-O, we have lots of experience now with using various tools, platforms, the security of an AWS partnership, and that we've used for our own reporting and dashboard build outs within the company and with our clients, for and on behalf of our clients. So from making the data gathering, faster and more efficient, which is what would happen for the company that might work with us, our time is now spent on analyzing the data so that we can make internal decisions faster and hopefully better, with the ultimate goal of eventually internal delight, and then same story for our clients that we've been able and fortunate enough to work with to put these things in place there. So what we're hearing and what we view this is a strategic advantage that can be provided very quickly.
Absolutely. We all have only 24 hours in a day. So where are you going to spend your time when you're an executive and when you have to make so many decisions, actually often not so many decisions, but critical decisions? And would you rather spend your time in having to deal with the building of the platform and maintaining the platform? Or would you want to spend your time in actually analyzing the results, the outcome, and find ways to make the right decisions? So and what's interesting in our case, I believe, is that if we go back to why we do business intelligence, why we offer also business intelligence as a service, I think it goes down to the root of who we are as an organization. Long time ago, we made a decision that we will be a tech and data-driven organization. So manipulating and analyzing data has always been something close to us. It's always been part of our DNA. So it was only expected that we start our own BI even before we start offering it to our clients. We had to understand better how teams were performing, how to optimize our workforce management, how to predict attrition, how to pick up early signals for better retention, how to improve the efficiency of our own admin team, and again, how to connect the dots and our systems together so that we get more value out of it. Right. And so without BI, we were really struggling with a loss of awareness of what data is existing out there, what we need to pick up. We were having also a hard time, again, doing complex reporting. It was close to impossible to have accurate data month on month. And every time we would be scratching our head because we will be doubting the data that we'll be dealing with. And so we may forget that one system may not be updated while all the other ones have already been adjusted to an update that happened in the business. So often, if you don't get to build those connectors, if you don't get to build that synchronization between systems, then you get to struggle with information that always is outdated, and that would have an impact in how we make our decisions. So now, with the approach that we've taken, we were really able to structure that data so that we have better awareness, better reporting. We get to leverage on any kind of information. Really, we get to connect with APIs, different systems that are being used. We get to also capture information from websites through bots that we get to build. So just like we can add on more data points. One thing that is close to our business is to always make sure that we get to have the right level of compensation for our teams, but we cannot work just with internal data. We cannot work with just information that would be available from multiple websites or just from one website. You have to consolidate all of that information. You have to analyze the trends. You have to pick up how salaries are moving throughout the year to expect and understand where to set the right compensation moving forward for the team members to keep them engaged. So we do see value in having that ability to join automation and business intelligence in a predictable fashion, so that again we improve the efficiency of our organization, efficiency of our employees, and efficiency of our partners, because now they have, again, better visibility, they get better transparency, and they get to make better decisions at the end.
Thanks. So that's a great example, and really kind of illustrates the difference between working with and without a BI platform. And being inside of Infinit-O, I see that firsthand. It's really amazing what it's done for our business. But we've talked a lot about sort of the benefits and the potential and some real world examples. But if a company really wants to jumpstart its own BI process, working with a partner for potentially, what would you say are the basic steps to get started?
So I would say you have the very boring and then textbooks answer that consists in really going through it step by step, getting an understanding of how to develop your own strategy and data strategy, how to know your business goals, what you want to achieve as a business, identify, again, the key stakeholders, trying to see how they influence or how they interact within the organization. Understand also the types of tools that you can work with. Some tools would do one thing, but very specific. Some tools will be doing a wide range of things, but not necessarily anything very specifically. So you often have to go through a wide range of reviews and testing and trial to be able to get a feel of what works best for you. And then you have to build a team around it. You have to build your data science capabilities. You have to build your engineering capabilities. You have to make sure that you have the infrastructure that would be ready to absorb any kind of data. So you have to, again, in that end-to-end data management process, you have to make sure that you have your data lake, that you have your data warehouse, that you understand how you extract, load, and transform information from one place to the other, and that so that eventually, working with the right people and setting up the right processes, you end up having the ability to visualize that information into a format that is consumable, where you get to have analytics being done. Now that's a boring answer, not an easy answer.
But maybe it's boring, but it's also complex. If you're a scaling business and you're saying, okay, I want to jump in, and okay, I'm going to have to build out my whole infrastructure, support team, etc.
Correct. So
an alternative.
Absolutely. I think in that sense, that's where you want to work with a partner that has seen it and done it all, and that allows you to scale and focus on what's core to your business and what's really critical to your business, so that you can be sure that you work with a partner that would have the level of security that you need to avoid that lack of visibility in your inventory, to avoid that loss of biometric data, to avoid that challenge those challenges in reporting, and so working with a partner that is again one-stop shop that can help you quickly be geared and set to do and focus more on the analytics part, and make sure that you have the ability to focus your energy in taking those decisions that you need to. That is the partner that would help you eventually to reach that level of scalability that you're hoping for. And again, when an organization is quickly and rapidly moving and growing, they have to deal with so many different issues internally, externally. There's so many opportunities, both internally and externally, that they want to be able to have the headspace to make the right decisions at the right time with the right level of information. And that's where having a partner that you can work with and that you can leverage on to and for which you're going to know that all the data is aggregated, is securely stored, is transformed, and is formatted in a way that then allows quick and efficient reporting. I think that's what you want to get to, and then that would allow you again to get your ROI, as you were saying earlier, right? Like you want to optimize your costs, you want to reduce your savings. So instead of having to spend 6 to 9 months in building a team and a process and everything that may or may not work for you, you know that you can quickly get set up and geared up in the span of a few weeks with again the right partner.
Thank you, Flo. Really appreciate it. So sort of wrapping up, during this episode, we've talked about the basics of BI and its benefits, why your company may desire to incorporate BI if you haven't already, and how to get started in a broad way. But how do you truly jumpstart the process, I think is part of the key here. And we can help. We've done it before at Infinit-O, for and behalf of ourselves and our clients. So please do reach out and have a discussion with us about it if you'd like. Couple ways to do it. So for existing clients, simply reach out to kelsey.snyder@infinito.com. Kelsey, myself, or sales@infinit-o.com. We can help. If you're new to Infinit-O, please reach out to either info@infinit-o.com or sales@infinit-o.com. We'd appreciate it, and we'd love to chat with you. Once again, thank you very much, Flo, for joining us again today. Super interesting and relevant topic. And thanks to all of you out there in the audience for tuning in again to this episode. To get to know us better, please visit us at www.infinit-o.com. So until next time, I'm Mike Gunyon, and thank you again.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Flo.
And that has been the Outsourcing Hub Podcast, Building Great Teams with Mike Gunyon. Thank you for tuning in. And always remember, start small, exceed expectations, think infinitely, think Infinit-O.